Top 5 Best D&D 5e Classes for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Number 5, the Fighter. As we all know, choices are important in D&D. That's why we decided to go with the Fighter. It's so easy to make a fighter. You really don't even get that many choices. Sure, you get ability score improvements almost every other level, but let's be honest, you're just going to be dumping them into strength. And once strength's full, you dump them into constitution. And once that's full, you'll just dump it into an important stat like intelligence. Fighters are the best class at hitting things. No other class can beat their damage output. Nope, not a one, not a single one. Can any other class do 4 attacks in one turn? I don't think so. Fighters are great, and if anyone says otherwise, they're wrong. That's why it's number 5. Number 4 on the list is the Artificer. Much like the Fighter, it's super easy to make an Artificer. There's barely any choices at all. All you really have to do is pick your subclass, your spell list, your infusions, the choices within your subclass, the choices within your spell list, the infusions within your infusions. Not to mention, if you were to put an Artificer with any other class, it's super broken immediately. Artificer and Wizard, broken. Artificer and Fighter, broken. Artificer and Ranger, super broken, but we're not going to spoil what's coming later down this list. Honestly, the main reason the Artificer's above the Fighter is because it's just so easy for a new player to be able to play the Artificer. Really, this class is great for new players, old players who lost the passion for the game. Anyone really can enjoy the Artificer, and I'm not lying about that. Number 3, the Warlock. I guess we had to put a full caster on here at some point. It's a shame that D&D 5e doesn't really have any good ones. Looking at you, Wizard. But here we are, with the Warlock. We were honestly thinking about possibly putting the Sorcerer here instead, but the main thing that put the Warlock above is one simple fact. You get your spell slots back on a short rest. And let's be honest, players are always taking short rests. I mean, I have to forcibly force my players to stop taking short rests. In fact, that's kind of all they do. They take more short rests than the 7 encounters I throw them in one session. Sure, I get it. After the 8th encounter, you're going to want to take a short rest, but they should just be gearing up for the 9th one. But that's where the Warlock comes in. It's super awesome, and super good, and super great, and super awesome. I mean, it has a full 2 spell slots, and that's it. It's pretty good. Number 2, the Ranger. I might have spoiled that this one was going to be on the list, but really, who could blame me? The Ranger's probably one of the most broken classes in the game. I mean, it's like super broken. Totally broken. It's so broken, it's so good. And I'm not talking about that revised Ranger crap that everyone keeps talking about in Tasha's. No, we're talking OG Player's Handbook Ranger. Oh my gosh, the Hunter subclass? Phenomenal. So many choices. And the Beastmaster Ranger? Even more choices. It's so broken. I mean, you get another beast. Sure, you have to use your entire action to tell it to do anything, but like that's so broken. It's great. The best part about the Ranger is it could be any fantasy person ever. Think about it. It's Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Sam, Frodo, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf the Grey, and Gandalf the White. Honestly, even Saruman was probably dipping into Ranger because it's that good. So what could take the number 1 spot away from the Ranger? You guessed it, any homebrew class ever. 5th edition is really cool and all, but it's a shame that all of its classes kind of suck. That's why we have the homebrew classes. No matter which one you get, whether it be from the DM's Guild, from a person online who's been playing D&D professionally, or even just whatever idea one of your players wrote down on a napkin one time, they're all perfectly balanced and perfect and overpowered at the same time. I mean, I found a class where I could constantly up my strength every time I play a game. I'm only at level 5 and my strength's already at 47. Talk about broken, but in a good way. Honestly, what DM in the right mind wouldn't let a player show up unannounced with a character sheet that the player didn't give any information on what it is on, so that way halfway through the campaign they can just say, oh, but I can do this thing, and then the DM has to go along with it, even though they didn't really read through the subclass, and honestly, it's just more of a problem for everybody involved, but yet we go along with it because we don't want to ruin the fun for everybody else. Yeah, it's great. So there you go, the top 5 best classes, top 5 of D&D 5th edition top 5s. Next week, we'll be going over the worst classes, looking at you, Paladin. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and enjoy my videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you also understood that that was a joke because, you know, April Fool's Day. I mean, I don't actually think the Ranger's the second best class. No, it's the best class, obviously. Anyway, if you like the video, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things and whatnot. If you want to actually hear my opinions on the classes, put a comment down below, and maybe I'll do some videos on that. Until then, hope to see you guys next time where we will have a video that's not a joke, I promise. For the most part.